You're live.
We're live, okay. One second. Sure. Good evening. This is the meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals for the Town of Newcastle. Today is September 28th, 2022.
We have three extension requests this evening. We'll start with SALNIKOW. They're looking for a 6-month extension because of construction delays and material delays.
So I guess Mary Scott provided this
Right.
this notice, so I don't see any problem.
I have no problem with this.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we approve the extension request for 6 months.
I second.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
Yes.
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
The next request is from
Excuse, I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is on. Is it on?
Yeah.
Just for the record, board member Harvey Bonaparte is appearing virtually pursuant to local law, which allows up to 2 board members to appear virtually at the meeting tonight. Then there's the other 3 board members are here in person so there's a valid quorum. Just pursuant to the local law, we have to announce that Mr. Bonaparte is appearing virtually at the meeting, so.
Eric and Michael.
Michael Nolan is on as well? Oh,
Yes.
sorry, I didn't see board member Nolan, and Mr. Nolan is here virtually as well, thank you.
His wife uses that funny lighting to enhance his appearance.
Next extension request is from Sunshine Children's Home and Rehabilitation Center. They're looking for a 1-year extension.
Didn't I read something that they were virtually on the?
Yeah, they're pretty close to finished.
I think you might wanna hear from the building.
I'm not so sure if we wanna go the whole year. Do you think we need it, Tom?
The construction of the facility is pretty much complete in the 90th percentile. The wetlands mitigation, they're still struggling with, trying to get that under control, and the plantings are still a little lagging behind, so they needed the time frame to get back into the planting season. 6 months only gets them to April-ish timeframe, and it's not enough for the planting season. That's why they're requesting the 12-month.
So, given those circumstances, I will make a motion that we grant the 1-year extension.
I second.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
In favor?
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
And our final extension this evening is 20 Old Road Lane. They're looking for a 4-month extension. They have scheduling problems with the health department, it seems like. They're hoping to get it done earlier, but they're asking for 4 months just in case. I don't know if anybody has any question about that.
No.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we grant a 4-month extension to 20 Old Road Lane.
I second.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
Aye.
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
I think there should be just one more extension for 16 Marshall Lane.
It's not on the agenda.
Was it added
Is
to
it
the
on?
agenda?
I think it was added
It's added to the
after,
agenda,
it
but
might
I
have
don't
been
think it made the final
emailed,
print.
the one in the packet
You're
might have
right,
been
you're right,
different.
that was added on.
Yeah,
But we don't have any paperwork on it. Well, this is a generator installation.
yes.
Okay, so we have an additional extension from KOGAN, 16 Marshall Lane. They requested a side yard setback for a generator installation. And I don't know why they need the extension, because there's no explanation for that. Does anybody know why?
They had cited not being able to obtain the generator.
Oh, I guess that'll stop the job.
Oh, he's on Zoom as well.
He's on Zoom, so if you have any questions.
Oh, he's on, okay.
Mr. Kogan, did you want to elaborate on the reason for the request?
Yeah,
The simple answer is I think I just made a mistake. We had the work done. I just didn't pull, the contractor didn't pull the work permit for the generator. But we pulled a permit for the electrical and a permit for the propane tank. And this was an oversight.
So Tom, how long of an extension do they,
3 months.
3 months? Okay.
You feel that's reasonable? Okay, I'll make a motion that we grant a 3-month extension for KOGAN, 16 Marshall Lane for their generator installation.
I second.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
Aye.
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
Thank you, you have your extension.
Thank you.
Next is Jordan, 25 Attitash Road.
Evening, board members. Paul Fusco from Louis Fusco Landscape Architects, representing Mark and Jennifer Jordan at 25 Attitash Street. I can share my screen to review the plans. Does that work well?
Yes.
There we go. So the property is located in the cul-de-sac on Attitash. It is a flag lot and it borders the back edge of the property borders Whippoorwill Road. You can see here the property is selected in yellow. This is the main residence. The drive comes up here. And we are proposing the area variances and proposed work is right behind the rear of the house. These are the neighbors' kind of question of the side yard variance we're asking for, which are all located, these are 10-foot contour lines. We can review that in the photos later, but you can see that they are plus or minus 20 to 30 feet below elevation of this property. This is the existing conditions. As mentioned, the driveway coming up here to the main house. This is the side 45-foot setback, and this is an existing small patio at the rear of the house that is used now. There's a level plateau on top of a rock ledge here that the proposed work will be taking place on. The rest of the property consists of an extremely steep slope down to a man-made pond that was just recently renovated through a wetlands permit to beautification with plantings, native wetland plantings in here. They have a lower lawn space that is their septic fields, which was installed with the development of the house. The proposed work, from an overall scope, this was the wetlands work which was actually just finished, the wetlands planting, but what we're here tonight for is a gravel patio in that level kind of moss on top of the rock outcropping at the rear of the house, as well as a small pergola at the rear. I'm going to go into here, sorry. So the pergola is looking at a 25-foot 9-inch setback, which would be a just over 19-foot variance, and the gravel patio is 8 foot 8 inches from the side yard, which would be about a 36-foot variance. The existing house you can see here, which was approved a long time ago, but that was 29-foot setback and had a 25-foot variance. It was written as a 25-foot side yard variance acceptance for the house. I'm not sure why it wasn't a particular 25, but that's how it was written back then. I'll go into, this is the pergola structure. It is 4 posts with a what's called aluminum louvered top, which will open and close for sun and shade, and it has pneumatic screens to create a little bit more of a, not going to say a four-season room, but mainly a outdoor protected area from a lot of the mosquitoes they do get from the pond. So between the wetlands mitigation, plantings that were done, we're trying to help control some of that as well, and this element for them to start using the outside space more. These are photos of the existing conditions. This is looking from their existing patio down to that level plateau that the proposed gravel patio is. Here we are another angle, so the first one was kind of from this corner. This is looking back across it, and the one neighbor that's about almost 40 feet below is right here. You can kind of see the tip of the house. This is at the gravel patio looking back up, and the flip of this. And the other neighbor is back in these woods here, and they're also about 20 feet below this elevation. This is standing right in the middle of the patio looking back at the main house. These are kind of those angles, so we're looking this way in the first, and across, and back. I had a few other photos just from last week actually, so I wanted to show them. You can see the height elevation difference. This is the driveway of one of the neighboring properties, and you can see the elevation difference, a very difficult view shed to be able to see the actual proposed work. This is in the corner of it as well, and how dense the woods are between both of the existing homes. We are proposing significant screening material, evergreen screening as well along the property line to provide some of the blockage, particularly obviously in the winter, on the corners where those direct views that could possibly be seen from the two neighboring properties. Board has any questions, Levi, or about the application?
I'm sorry, did I understand, is there an existing patio today?
There is an existing patio at the rear of the house up in here, I'm sorry.
And
Right here.
is this patio replacing that?
That patio is staying.
That's staying.
Yep. They're doing a small, this is going to be a dry laid stone patio under the pergola that'll have the screens that come down. And this is a gravel patio space with a fire pit.
And just because it's a little difficult to tell from the site plans, the location, could you just explain to us why you couldn't bring that further away from the side yard setback?
Sure. Yes, of course. So this is a steep hill that goes from this elevation down here. These are 2-foot contours. There's about a 25-foot elevation change between the lower side of the property and the usable space outside of the main house. All of this is a combination of steep hill, steep rock ledges, and is not level area for use. And so this was the only existing kind of level space available with that to try and minimize disturbance from physically accessing the area, as well as trying to create a level space where there wasn't one naturally. So this was a natural space that is existing level. We did push the pergola, kind of the largest visual possible impact to the neighbors, which was the elevated pergola, as far away as possible, and do have a small retaining wall in this area. It has a max 4-foot height. If we started, actually, I'm sorry, it has a max 2.5-foot height. If we started pushing further and further away, obviously that wall would get significantly larger, and so we were kind of playing with those difficulties with the existing landscape.
And why did you choose the PGMs instead of continuing the green giants across to provide screening?
For a few reasons, there's a significant amount of shade because of the forest canopy, and they'll do a little bit better in that shade. It provides a little more visual interest to the homeowner as well as any neighbor having an attractive flower in the springtime, and then beautiful fall foliage. It doesn't drop all its leaves, but it'll have a beautiful burgundy color in the fall. And with the minimal view sheds that are to the neighbor, these are placed where it's not a direct line of sight from the using spaces of the neighbor's property to the proposed development. So this was infill.
Did any of your neighbors, have any comments about the
We're here.
proposed installation?
We have not gotten any feedback or comments from any of the neighbors.
Okay. Yes, would you like to be heard?
Yes, please.
Yep, please come to the microphone and introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Sandy Poster, my husband Jimmy Poster, and we are at 9 Stornoway. As I understand, may I walk over to there to point where we are, or maybe with your mouse you could show where we are?
If you're going to do that, you'll need to take the microphone with
Oh,
you.
I think he can
Okay.
show which
Okay,
house we are,
sure.
number 9.
Is this one or?
That one, yeah, that one there.
This one here. Sure.
Correct. And I very much appreciate the work that you've done and the effort to try and push the pergola back so it's not as obvious a structure, I guess, from our property. There definitely is a very large downslope, so we really won't probably see very much of the work that you've done, and I'm sure it'll be beautiful, the work that you're doing. Our biggest concern is the lack of privacy that will be dramatically impacted from this variance. I'm a little confused how when our town creates certain guidelines for setbacks, why we then kind of disregard them or try to ask, so please can I have a favor, can I change this? Where I thought that we did a major construction yard in our backyard. We stayed within our lines and we worked around that. To the one side of us are number 9. Number 5, the Gellises did the same thing. The Supermanians, which are also right next to the upper side of where you are, they also stayed within the setbacks. So it gives me pause to try to understand why we kind of can change that. Some other points, because it is a big steep downhill. It does appear in the beautiful springtime, summertime shot that you have that there is a great deal of foliage. A lot of that foliage are beech trees. In case you all are aware, there's the black leaf beech thing that's happening right now.
Right.
That they haven't found a way to eradicate it. Right now, the leaves aren't quite as profound as they have been in past years. Yes, perhaps you could put trees all around where you have them on the 2 trees. It seems like where our direction is, you don't have the trees. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Sure.
So I think we were led to believe that they had strategically placed the green giant evergreens in locations that would provide screening, and that these PGM rhododendron that are smaller profile would be in other locations.
As I understand, you've got 2 sets of them, and I think the view down to us
Mhm.
is open, and I would.
So it's in between the two.
As I understand it, yes.
Okay.
And I believe that's probably done because the sun sets that direction. It's a due west, probably at about the 4th of July, because we have that view from our front porch. I would assume that that's probably why it was also kept clearing. Again, I'm sure your work is doing beautiful. I want to keep harmony in the neighborhood, but I'm really bothered by this. We've been very cognizant to keep our backyard private. We've put in big trees around. Again, everything was set within our setbacks. And my husband and I both find this design really troublesome.
Okay, we appreciate your comments.
The only thing I wanna say is you're talking about
I'm sorry, could you just give me the
James
name, sir?
Poster. The only thing you're talking about is it's a 75% increase from what you guys have set in terms of setback. I think it's 40 feet, am I correct?
45.
45. So asking for 30 is more than,
35.
well,
35 in one case, 20 in another, right.
Exactly, right.
No, they're substantial. Does the applicant
Yes, this is
have any
just a
comments?
comment to those. We obviously fully understand the substantial setbacks that we're requesting, and these obviously are reasonings because of the current condition of the site and finding this is the best location for the site to create, give the homeowners the usability of the space while still fitting in context with the environment, not creating major change to the natural environment, destroying the woodlands. We understand the concern of screening, and I think the perspective of the angles might be difficult with the way these trees are shown, but the location of them is to block the neighbors. We would be more than happy to accept a contingency to add an additional trees, but the objective would be to block it. It is not to leave a section open for a sunset that has never been reviewed or discussed with our clients. If the board and neighbors feel additional screening would be requested to provide adequate of a concern, that would be not a problem. But the goal is to block and provide that screenage. That is from both ends. Right now, the homeowners up here, when they are using that space, I don't believe the lower property can see them as they were mentioning, because of the height elevation, and they can see down below. So from the screening on the Jordan side, the Jordan residences, is the goal as well. So there is that privacy for this location.
Does and then I guess my other question is, yes, screening, so what happens if the trees die? Who's there to,
No, they would,
who's there to, enforce
there's a
the
responsibility on their part to maintain them, and if
Got
any
it.
died, they would have to replace them. This becomes part of the record that goes with the land,
I
and
see. Yeah, so I guess my biggest point is just the patio extending out so far. The fire pit's there, okay, we'll see the flame, it'll be beautiful, it's night, it'll be gorgeous. But it's really people looking down on us. We have a whole outdoor setup, swimming pool, hot tub, that was a very special investment on our part.
It's a little difficult, given the circumstances, trying to exactly resolve this evening. And I don't know for a second if you would be satisfied if the applicant was able to come up with some embellishments to their proposed screening plan. But I'm only speaking for myself now. My suggestion would be that the applicant and the neighbors get together and see whether or not there is some way to resolve this. And the applicant then could return next month, presumably, with your approval on what they come back with. Now, that's just my concept.
I think if we walked the property and got an understanding, that might help us to understand, where it would end and kind of walk it.
Right. Yes, sir.
My only question is, obviously, they're asking for, 35 feet or whatever it is. In your professional opinions, do you normally give that kind of variance? That's a huge, I understand when, people ask for 10 feet or 8 feet because of this or that, because of a certain thing. We're talking about a big chunk.
People have asked for much larger variances also.
Well, I understand that, but let's talk reason.
Yeah, no, well, so part of my thinking is, can you come to a resolution with the applicant in terms of what is reasonable? It then is up to the board to determine whether or not we wish to approve what has been decided or not.
Thank you.
Well, obviously the applicant would like to continue this process to move forward and get approval tonight if possible. Would the neighbors be accepting to creating a full, I'm not saying a line like a soldier, but a full blocking screening from between the two proposed groupings of evergreens? As mentioned, we feel these are the most critical view sheds, but have no problem adding additional trees and create that as part of a conditional approval that the plan will be submitted and we'll have full screening and blockage in this area so that they can't see in the winter, in the summer, obviously with the leaves that are already there is very difficult to see, and then in the winter there will be full coverage, and then obviously there's the concern they have with the proximity of the setback, but that is due to the existing conditions that we've talked. And I don't know if it's helpful, Paul, for me to speak. This is Mark Jordan. I live at 25 Assas Street with my wife Jennifer. Unfortunately, she is traveling right now, so is unable to speak. But I will obviously confer with Jennifer. But as far as we are concerned, I mean, we had no real knowledge until it was brought up this evening about Sunset or Gap. We're fully amenable, as Paul said, to screen it off. I mean, we don't have any desire to really overlook or look down on anybody, and we're happy to plant evergreens there. And with the concept of when the leaves fall in the winter and early spring, there will be no heating, to my knowledge, in that structure. So we would almost certainly not be using it in a time when the leaves are not on the trees. So I hope that can sort of echo what Paul has said, and maybe allay some fears on that. As Paul said, it is sort of the only usable flat land that without causing more environmental damage than is necessary. But I'm sure as well, I'll confirm with Jennifer, if we cannot reach a resolution this evening, if walking the property would help, then I can confer with that. And I mean, I personally don't have any issues from that. Hopefully we could reach a resolution this evening, but the idea of the screening would be to block both views from both directions. And we do hear noise from some of the neighbours over on that side, particularly like late at night, and whereas we wouldn't normally be out that late either, we would hope that would sort of block out some of the noise that we receive coming our way too.
I would really appreciate the opportunity to walk the property and get a full understanding of where it ends.
Okay, thank you. So, does the rest of the board?
Why don't we postpone this
Yeah.
meeting, let the
I didn't know
neighbors
if
get
there was
together?
anybody else who wanted to speak from the public on the video. That was the only question I had.
Would you know, Jackie, if there's anyone else who wishes to be heard on this matter?
Not that I'm aware
Not
of.
that-
Ask anyone to raise their digital hand.
Okay, would you, if there is anyone else who wishes to be heard on the Jordan matter, would they please raise their digital hand?
If they could take down the plan, then we can see,
Paul, if you could stop sharing the plan for the moment, thank you.
Sorry.
Okay, there's no hands raised?
Okay. Okay,
I only had one other question before. As far as the wetlands on the property, have you already gone to the wetlands board and gotten approvals for that?
Yes, all the wetlands work is approved, all the patios, pergolas are approved from wetlands as well as stormwater and engineering. So the entire project is approved pending the variance.
is there something new you wanted to?
No, he just answered the question.
Okay, very good. So my motion would be that we hold this matter over until next month and ask the applicant to, in the interim, meet with the neighbors to review the plan with them and to discuss adequate screening.
I'll second that.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
Aye.
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, board, please have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you for your service to the town, appreciate it.
Next is Bernard, 5 Kitchell Road.
I think you have to unmute yourself.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi. Please tell us what it is you're applying for.
This is Michael Picarillo, MAP Architects, representing Paula and Andre Bernard, 5 Kitchell. They have an existing single-family house with an existing non-conforming side yard setback. Would you like me to share my screen?
Yes, please.
Try to do that. So, the Bernard's property, again, has an existing non-conforming side yard setback.
I'm sorry, if you could double click on the PDF, because it hasn't truly come up, I don't think.
Says I'm sharing my screen.
It's over there. Can you move it in the middle?
So there is a plan to the right, quite small. Is that what you intended to have us see?
I'm intending you to see the site plan.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, I don't know why
He's
it's
probably
not.
sharing the wrong screen is the thing.
Yeah, he needs to close the screen share and then reopen on the window that has the plan in it. Cause we were just seeing the file list.
You got it? You see that?
We can.
Okay, so their house has an existing side yard setback issue, non-conforming. And several years ago, they had gone for an extension of their existing deck, and you see the variance shown back here. The proposal right now is to expand their existing dining room, family room, sitting area on this side of the house. And the only way to do that is to increase the non-conformity. But the way we're approaching it is because we already have an existing variance and we're not going out as far as that. And the existing addition will only be a single story addition. So we feel that it'll be in character with the house and it'll be in character with the neighborhood.
Why is the location for the addition the right location?
Because it's already an existing dining room that we're making larger, rather than relocating the dining room someplace else. It makes no sense to, it would be a worse variance to try to find a different location for this. This was the sort of the minimum version of this proposed addition that we can come up with that still gives the clients the area they're looking for to entertain, and next to the kitchen where it would be appropriate to have a dining room.
Right.
So there was no other place on the property to do that. So again, the thought is that it's a pretty small variance to in comparison to the variance that we see before deck. They've never had complaints from the neighbors. We've actually submitted some letters supporting the application from this neighbor here. So
Any member of the board have any questions for the applicant? Is there anyone who wishes to be heard on this matter from the audience?
I think they need to raise their hand, their electronic hand.
There is no one. Okay, I move we close the public hearing.
Second that.
Chairman Cooper.
Aye.
Anthony Giardina.
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte.
Aye.
Howard Duff.
Aye.
Michael Mullin.
Aye.
I'll make a motion. I move that the Bernard application for a 9-foot side yard variance for the construction of a, did we say dining room?
The dining room bedroom, correct.
Okay.
Full dining room.
Okay. Be approved for the following reasons. This is a pre-existing non-conforming site. There will be no undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood. Certainly the applicant will be in a position to enjoy the fruits of their labor once the renovation is complete. The benefit cannot be sought by other means or methods. The required variance is not substantial. There will be no adverse impact on the physical environment. And the alleged difficulty is not self-created given the lot. You'll have 6 months to start, 1 year to complete. Also, there were no neighbors who spoke in opposition. There'll be a foundation survey required prior to framing.
I'll second that.
Chairman Cooper,
Aye.
Michael Nicodemus,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Ken Dobbs,
Aye.
Michael Miller.
Aye.
Thank you. You have your variance.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much.
Michael, don't
Thank
go
you.
away. Michael, don't go away yet. I wanna, just for future reference, when you're doing your FAR calculations, you have a little problem with this one.
Yeah.
You used the 0.14 calculation for figuring out the FAR for this one. And that's only, you can only use that if it's less, if the lot is less than 43,560 square feet. If the lot is
Okay.
larger than that, there's no calculation required. The FARs are a given in the code.
Got it, okay.
If you go to the code, your FARs are there without any calculation whatsoever. So that's
Okay.
why your error came in.
Okay, no problem. Thank you for catching that.
Just to make it easy for next time. Have a good night.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Take care.
All right, take care, guys, have a great night.
Okay. Who's next? Next is PAREKH, 76 Annandale Drive.
That's me.
Aye. Please go ahead with your
Good evening,
explanation.
Corey Salomon from Zarin and Sons here tonight on behalf of Aaron PAREKH, in connection to the variance application for his property located at 76 Annandale. Here with me this evening is Mr. PAREKH, Ken Anderson, and Jeff Scher, our project architects from Brown Architects, and Ralph Alfonsetti, our project engineer from Alfonsetti Engineering. As I said, the property is located at 76 Annandale. Approximately 1.4 acres located in the R1A zoning district. Mr. PAREKH is proposing to do some backyard improvements. The architects will run through that shortly, but it's construction of a pool, spa area, patio, and when we were designing this, our design team met with Mr. DePaul to discuss the application, and as we're reconfiguring our patio to accommodate these proposed uses, we were able to eliminate some existing impervious coverage. So we think the application we're presenting to you tonight is putting our best foot forward here. However, it will require two variances associated with the pool. One is from the floor area ratio requirement, and the other is from the development coverage. One thing to note on the development coverage aspect of this, some of the coverage we believe is legal pre-existing, it's in place before you had your coverage requirements. But as there's no records of that with the town, we thought it best just to bring it before you tonight so that we can get everything cleaned up and approved at one time. And there is a third variance that we're seeking, and that's on the opposite side of the property. There's an existing shed, it's been in its current location for approximately 10 years. My client took title of the property that was already there. It's not compliant with the side yard setback, so while we're here tonight, we're here to clean everything up and request the side yard setback as well. So with that, with the board's permission, I'll turn it over to Ken to walk through the plans.
Evening board, how are you? Ken Anderson, I'm an architect. As Corey had mentioned, there is an existing shed, which Jeff, if Jeff is, sorry, I'm remote, so I don't have anything to control. Jeff's going to control the images. If you can scroll down, Jeff, we can look at some of the other images. This is the front of the house. Oop. Go back to the front. Yeah, the front of the house. The septic and the primary and the secondary septic are located in the front yard. The house is set back very far from the street. So part of the reason that there is a lot of development coverage is there's an existing very long driveway that gets you to the house. So if you continue, Jeff, to the next one. Here's the back of the house, the backyard. You can see that's where the shed is a little bit in the left there. And then that circle is generally where the new pool area is going to go with the pool house. I just want to reiterate that the pool and the pool house do meet the setback requirements. It's only the FAR and the development coverage. I'll also note that the pool house is a modest size, it's 375 square feet. It could certainly be a lot larger, but we sort of shrunk it up to its minimal function that our clients would like to have. Also, the pool is a huge pool, and we're trying to sort of keep it in this one corner of the backyard. If you keep going, Jeff. This is a picture of the shed. The previous owner did put the shed in. I believe he put it in, many years ago. It's been there. I do believe Aaron spoke with this neighbor, and he didn't have any issues with the shed where it is. It is pretty heavily screened. And Aaron would like to continue using it for garden tools, bicycles, and things that don't fit in the garage with the other cars. If you keep going, this is just another view of that area. If you keep going, there's another view of the other side, which is also the backyard is heavily screened from all three of the backyard neighbors. And if you keep going, this is the existing terrace. We are taking out some of this existing terrace to fit in the new pool and the new house. The amount that we're taking out was originally like 200 or 300 square feet, but now we're taking out probably another 300 or 400 square feet to sort of put our best foot forward, as Corey was saying, with the development coverage.
I'm sorry, what is the total that you're removing?
Probably around 300 of these, 300 to 400, about almost 400, I think it is. I don't know the exact number, but we went through a lot of iterations of removing it, at the recommendation of Tom DePaul, and that's what we were doing. And here's the other side, which that patio and the spa, we're sort of removing that from that location and getting rid of that coverage. This is sort of what exists. We can keep going. And then you can see, I don't know if you want to zoom in there, Jeff. You can see where the pool is. And then you can see some of the areas that we are removing. Those, yeah, there you go. That area and another same color area over there. And then in the development, the patio used to go to the end of the pool house. And if you show them, yeah, we were going to have that as patio, but we sort of pulled that back, to take out more coverage. And that's kind of, and the pool is, although it didn't look like it from the photos, there is a slope to the property. More or less, all the adjacent neighbors drain into this backyard. So they're digging the pool kind of into the side, so it nestles in there with some rock boulders, and to sort of make it more intimate, connected to the house. And Ralph Fanzetti has started to do preliminary design work. He's our civil engineer. I believe he has some data that will prove out that he can, meet the requirements of, 108A stormwater. I don't know if the board has any specific questions or if you want to talk to any other members of our team.
Could you go back to the site plan that shows the driveway? Yes, that one.
Yeah.
So why does the driveway, how many car garage does the house have?
It's a 3-car garage.
3-car. So the area in front of what I presume are the garages. Why is that area so large?
Well, because it's a long driveway and it's an uphill driveway, if there's areas beyond where the garage is for guest parking, the garage holds 3 cars, but it's one of those garages, and I know I'm not complaining about having a 3-car garage for them, but it literally just fits a car, and you can't fit anything else. But you might be able to open the door carefully while you're parking there. So they park their cars in there. But they have the 2 guest spots in the front for normal people coming and going and delivery trucks, and then there's a couple of spots in the back as well.
I'm sorry, how many spots are there by that walkway? Is that 2 spots, 3 spots?
There's 2 spots.
2 spots.
And it's you can park on Annandale, but it's quite a ways to sort of walk up the hill.
I just meant, if the board remembers, the previous owner of this house was before the board.
Yes.
A couple of years ago, where he did unauthorized work in the attic without getting the proper building permits, and we had to approve that, and clearly he didn't have much interest in getting town approvals for anything he did, given the fact that the shed is 4.8 feet from the neighbor's property. And I personally have a problem with there's plenty of room in that property for a shed. I can't understand why it has to be there. It may not be a big issue tonight, but it's just one of the things that strikes me.
Well, I understand the concern. I hope we wouldn't be penalized for prior owners' conduct. But given that the shed has been there for, again, over a decade, with no objection from neighbors, we would hope that your board would look favorably upon allowing us to keep the shed in that location, which is very convenient in close proximity to the garage for all its storage needs.
Well, it isn't about who erected the shed, it's about, this is a new application, and so we're looking at this in its totality.
Understood.
And I suppose the shed can be moved. It's not on a foundation or anything. We could, if the board has a strong opinion about it, we could put it on the other side of the driveway. I just, we'd have to take a closer look at all that.
I think we do have, 2 letters in support of the application?
I think there are more than that. I don't know if you've gotten them since then. Jackie, you had sent a bunch later in the day. I don't know if you have a record of what they are.
I can check, I think it was 2, but I'll check.
Oh, okay, I thought it was more.
This is Aaron Clark. I spoke with all 5 of my neighbors, and no one had any objection. In particular, I spoke with the Reddies, which is on the side with the shed, and he said he didn't have any objection to the shed because there's a lot of trees that block it, so he can't see it.
Tom, what was your assessment about the applicant calls the terrace and the removal of the 300 to 400 square feet
Initially, when the applicant came to us, they were asking for a larger development coverage variance. I recommended they go back and try to trim as much as they could because they were so grossly over the maximum.
Right.
Which they obliged, and they come back with a new number.
And Chairman, I think Corey mentioned it, but there's a lot of pre-existing, we're already over coverage as the house exists. So, you know, we're trying to mitigate the increase, the net increase by taking out some.
Understood. Which neighbor is it that is closest to the side of the property that has the proposed pool?
Burnside.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
Burn, where he's circling right now. And I spoke with him as well, and he doesn't have an objection to our plan.
Okay.
And I just want to also point out, we are compliant with the side yard setback there, it's just that we are in coverage.
Right. Does the board have any other questions?
No.
Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on this matter? If you are, would you please raise your digital hand? Okay.
If we could stop screen sharing also, it would be helpful so we can see.
Do any other board members have any other questions for the applicant?
Is there a way we can see all the members, all the board members? Yeah, there you go. That's what we need. Thank you.
Harvey, Michael, you're okay?
Yeah, I'll defer to the board on that.
Okay, I move that we close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
Chair McKenna Cooper,
Aye.
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
Would like to make a motion?
I guess I'll make the motion, it's gonna be long and drawn out, but I'll try it. Okay. I'm gonna make a motion that the PAREKH application for shed legalization, pool patio and pool house construction requiring for the sheds, there's gonna be a 30.2 foot variance needed, which I'm approving. With a pool, patio pool, pool house, if we have a FAR coverage. What do we need? The requested variance for the FAR is gonna be 481 feet over the existing. Which-
1,095.
Which is 1,095 over which is legal, but part of that has already been approved previously. So we're adding 481 to the previously approved variance, okay? The development coverage is a 2,991 square foot variance. And I think that's all we need, right? Don, did I miss anything?
I think that's it.
Okay, and I move that we approve those requests for the following reasons. With regard to the shed, it's been there for many years, there's been no neighbors in opposition to it, it's well screened, and leaving it there is not gonna create any hardship in the neighborhood, and I don't think we need to force the issue and have it moved. With regard to the other variances requested for the pool house, the patio, the granting of those variances will not create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood. There's really no other method available to achieve the desired end. There's no adverse physical or environmental conditions will occur because of such a thing. While this is a self-created hardship, in some ways, the benefit to the applicant far exceeds any detriment to the town or the neighborhood. The applicant has done their best to reduce development coverage and as much as possible to still keep their project viable. Part of the problem with this property is this excessively long driveway, which creates a lot of impervious surface and increases the development coverage over what would normally be on a property of this size because of the house location. And I think if we could start within 6 months and finish within a year, we should grant this variance. One other question on the pool, is that going to be a gunite pool?
Yes.
Okay, when we do gunite pools, approvals, we request that the survey be done before the gunite is shot to be sure the pool is in the right location. Because it's easier to move it, when there is no gunite than after the gunite is installed. So you don't wanna get involved with that. Other than that, if you can start within 6 months and finish within a year, give us foundation surveys prior to framing for the pool house, we should grant.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
Aye.
Anthony Giardina.
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
Thank you, you have your variance.
Thank you very
Very much for your time, appreciate it.
Good night.
Minutes. You're looking at, this is not good, you gotta just, I don't know when the minutes are.
meeting minutes?
I don't know. What are the minutes date?
July 27th.
July 27th.
July 27th.
July 27th.
I make a motion that the meeting minutes for the July 27th meeting be approved.
I'll second.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper.
Aye.
Anthony Giardina.
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte.
Aye.
Howard Dubs.
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
I didn't get a good printout, I'm missing that.
Okay, we're off.